don't want this to be a 5-minute long introduction, but it will be if you guys really want to know who I am. How many people here want to know who I am? How many people here want to know who we all are? We're all remarkable, and we're remarkably strong together. Since identity is important, and you don't know who I am, my mother is a lesbian. She was locked up with me while she was pregnant. She's now a network security specialist. I'm not supposed to be here, just like she's not supposed to be there. I wasn't supposed to return to prison after leaving my mother's swollen womb, but I did when I got in trouble. I got locked up, selling drugs, forging prescriptions, stealing cars, getting into high-speed car chases from the cops, crashing into buildings, surviving. I'm not going to blame my mom. I'm not going to blame my dad who wasn't there. I'm not going to blame my mom's mom, who was a veteran who came home and got strung out on crack cocaine. I'm not going to blame my mom's little brother, who was more like my brother, who was murdered in the streets while he was in the reserves. I'm not going to blame any of my family. I'm going to blame the miseducational system. I'm going to blame the educational system. I was raised in predominantly white Shillington, Pennsylvania, where I was placed in remedial classes. I was born in historically black Chester, Pennsylvania. When we moved to Shillington when I was in the 2nd grade, the teachers didn't really know how to handle me. They wanted to put me on medication. My mom wouldn't allow that. She was a good mom. She didn't want me medicated. She wanted me helped. I got one-on-one attention. They helped me. I excelled a little bit. I wrote a book in the 3rd grade. But I spent my formative years here in Wilmington, in Delaware, getting into trouble again. I got sent to Howard R. Young Correctional Facility. I didn't go to Howard University. I was locked up for my 21st birthday. I was in the hole when Obama got elected, and I cried. I felt like a waste of space. Certain things about my past, I don't want to relive. I don't want to remember. I don't want to walk through again. Certain things about my past that I would like to forget and move forward from. There are certain things about my past that I would like for a society and a state to move forward from too. Stop there. I'm going to edit that. Historically black Chester, PA. I was raised in predominantly white Shillington, Pennsylvania, where I was placed in remedial classes. I got one-on-one attention. I excelled a little bit. I wrote a book in the 3rd grade, but I spent my formative years here in Wilmington, in Delaware, getting into trouble. I got sent to Howard R. Young Correctional Facility. I didn't go to Howard University. I don't know how I got here. I don't know how I got here. I spent my 21st birthday in jail. When Obama got elected, I was in the hole, and I cried. I don't know how I got here. So obviously, I'm not someone that knows everything or anything, really. You don't have to worry about me talking over your heads. I have lived experiences. I'm a boxer. I'm a Christian. I keep up the good fight. I keep God first. I give God the glory. I'm not here to preach to you today. I realize that religion can be divisive. I didn't learn about God in school. I did learn about psychology and sociology. It was my boxing coach that actually introduced me to the church. I joke that it's because of boxing, getting hit in the head, that I don't remember everything. That's before I started boxing. Every shot counts. Certain things about my past I like to forget. Certain things about my past I'd like for the state and society to forget. Certain things I would like to move forward from. I like to forget about how I fought so much as a youth, how I fought in jail with other prisoners and with guards. I like to forget even how I was assaulted in the street by police. I like to forget how I was assaulted in jail. I would like to forget all these things. What kind of justice am I going to get now? I have another uncle who is also a veteran, like the uncle who was killed, who's now a CEO down at Vaughn Correctional Institute in Smyrna, Delaware. How many of you saw the news about what happened down at Vaughn Correctional Institute down in Smyrna, Delaware? How many of you know that the system failed? Every day, we fail to treat people like people. Every day, we fail to give people the respect that they deserve as people. I put together a new idea, a program. I don't like the word program, but a new idea that I want to implement into the prison system called Artist Freedom, where we go in on the front end and we teach art classes, tech art, digital design, graphic design. And on the back end, we give the returning citizens a stipend and a place to sell their work that they created, teaching entrepreneurship skills. I feel like it's important that we implement this. I feel like it's something that needs to be fought for. We all want to be our own boss. We all want to have the respect and the freedom that comes with being able to say, this is ours and this is how we're going to do it. Let's stop there. My mother, who was in jail while she was pregnant with me, was also a child who grew up without a father. My grandfather had his own family. I had two other uncles who are Philadelphia City Police that I never knew. Thank God for the miracle of Facebook, social media. After I got out of jail, I went to school for computer networking, just like my mom. I wanted to do something positive. I wanted to do something good. I wasn't ready. I was still making mistakes. I ended up back in jail. I was still trying to make easy money. I had to learn hard lessons the hard way. I'm still learning. I still owe the state money. I can get locked up tomorrow or it's night, even though I've served time and I serve my community every day. I work with the youth. I work with Wilmington City Parks and Recreations. We do all kinds of programs where we talk about some of my new ideas about respect and equality. My coloring books, I make coloring books for the children. There's 5 different books. The common theme throughout is respect, diversity. I've been focusing on not forgetting our collective past and most importantly, not forgetting our collective future as a people, not just the black people, not just black people from the hood, but human people from everywhere. Even though it's always been my goal, I've always wanted to help people. I've always wanted to use, like boxing, I always wanted to use my platform in boxing to help inspire little black boys that look like me, little black girls, to be inspired enough to respect themselves enough to not need bail reform or restorative justice or rehabilitation from reentry programs. Preventative maintenance, I feel, is the key. We have to start from the beginning, on the front end. Because they're not listening to everybody. They're not listening to parents. They're not listening to teachers. They're not listening to police. They're not listening to, a lot of times, they're not listening to concerned community or even ex-offenders. They're not listening to these people. They're listening to entertainers. They're listening to athletes. They're listening to what it is that they see on TV. Some people say I need to focus on my own problems. I need to care about self. I've been battling homelessness since 2015. Last December, I was assaulted by constables at Christianity Care. While I was recording a cell phone video of those same constables beating up on a homeless woman, they turned their attention towards me. The woman, she didn't have anywhere to go. They were trying to kick her out of the emergency room lobby. She said it was cold out. She was homeless. They said they didn't care. I'm not gonna stay on that. 2 months later, a video of Terrence Crawford, a Wilmington man, was being beat down by those same constables. So we have a case. When the police gave me back my cell phone video, or my cell phone told me to delete the video, I saw on the phone that my SD card was unsafely removed. So that means someone opened up the back of my phone and took out the SD card that was in my phone and stored and saved everything like videos. So like I said, we have a case. I have a mental calendar to help me with dates nowadays. Like I said, forgetting is important. You don't want to ever forget. I have a mental calendar to help me out with dates, deadlines for grants, for bills. I had a mental calendar to help me with this speech. Forgetting is not always good. Forgetting to respect people, forgetting to treat people like people is never good. I'm a teaching artist, an activist, an author, and an athlete. I still box, and I try not to get hit in the head because every shot counts. I try not to get hurt because I'm also what I like to call an art historian, not a historian, because I've done research and I figured out that a lot of the things that we learn in history class in school is not really true history. So I teach the youth and I teach adults about our story, true history, a complete history. Let me see. Through my coloring books, I teach about diversity and respect, about historical figures that you don't learn about in the classroom a lot. I've been giving them away for free since the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March in Washington, D.C. in 2015. That same year, I competed in the Olympic qualifiers in Memphis, Tennessee, is where my Olympic qualifiers ended. I printed out the early pamphlet versions of the Black Lives Matter coloring books at the Police Athletic League on some computer paper that I paid for in Wilmington.